Yo, check it out, new office. There's a little bit of an echo that will be fixed. I promise I'll explain everything later. So I'm going to lay this all out for you guys, and I really want your guys' opinion in the comment section. I know that this hotel and that this corporation is going to see this video, and I feel as though your guys' feedback in the comments is going to be very important. If you guys think that I'm a dickhead for making this video, please let me know. If you think the hotel messed up, please let me know. If you think the hotel should compensate us, please let me know. They also overcharged us a whole lot of money. I'm not happy about that. I need to call them back and let them know that they overcharged us on what we agreed to pay in the first place. Let's get into it. This video sucks to make, it really does. But in making videos of all of our travels, we're always promoting the places that we go. And I cannot in good conscience promote this hotel as a good place to stay after my experience there. Our last two videos have made it look super dope, and I think I did an excellent job at making it look awesome. But I can't ever say that I will stay at the Playa Grande ever again in my life. Over the years, me and my friends have traveled to some pretty crazy places. Mexico, Thailand, all over the United States, from New York to California, Texas, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, China, the list goes on. I believe that traveling is like one of the best ways to grow as a person, because in a lot of ways when you travel, you're on your own. You have the freedom to do whatever you want and be whoever you want. And your attitude and who you are as a person kind of sets the stage for how the trip is going to go for you. I always believe that no matter what happens and no matter what goes wrong, you can always make the best out of a bad situation and you can always have a good time. To me, the worst trips were always the most memorable, and there was always many lessons learned. Through all of my travels my entire life, I've never had such a terrible experience with a hotel. Not even close. The trip, however, was an absolute blast despite the managers being absolutely terrible. Well, one manager specifically, Carlos. He was a real dickhead. Now, I strive to try to be very unbiased. I never want to go out of my way to make a business look bad. However, I do feel that if you're running a business, that business should hold a standard of quality, especially if it's one of the nicest resorts in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. That resort being the Playa Grande, which isn't even where I paid to stay in the first place. I'm going to explain this as cut and dry as I can and let you guys draw your own conclusions. I'm going to try to highlight the good things that I liked about this hotel and not just kind of talk shit about it the entire time, because that would be way too easy. And because I really did enjoy this trip. I always do. I've been traveling to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico for 8 years. It's one of my favorite places on the planet. The culture is amazing, the weather's awesome, the town, the people, truly one of the most beautiful places I've ever visited in my entire life, and I will always continue to go back. However, if I can help it, I will never stay at the Playa Grande ever again. Which sucks because some of the employees were super dope, and I'll get to that. But it wasn't for me. Maybe your experience will be different. It's still one of the highest rated hotels in Cabo. I have this all written down, so excuse me if I look at my computer. I just want to make sure that my thoughts are collected. I always like to write scripts before videos to make sure that I don't miss any points. To start, I booked 3 separate reservations at the Solmar. Why? Because it's the closest resort to one of the world's best skimboard breaks. Also, the staff is just awesome. They let us have fun, party, have a good time. They're always nice. I really can't say much bad about this place, besides the fact that we promoted them for 8 years and they never sponsored us or comped us, which I think is just kind of dumb on their part, because if they did, we would go so much more out of our way to make the place look awesome. But the problem is that hotel was closed. Why was that a problem? Because I paid to stay at that hotel and we didn't find out that it was closed until we arrived in Mexico. Didn't get an email, didn't get a phone call. Nothing. Technically, they upgraded us to a nicer hotel, but to me it wasn't an upgrade because we had to walk twice as far to get to the rocks, and that's the reason that we stay at the Solmars, because it's close to the skim spot. Honestly, whatever. I wouldn't have even said anything about that publicly at all, because I'm not one to complain, but that's just the beginning. We booked 3 rooms for 6 people. We got a confirmation the 26th of November saying that we're all confirmed. Good to go, it's on. Mind you, we still think that we're staying at the Solmar. So 4 of us arrive on the 30th of November and 2 of us are supposed to arrive on the 1st of December. We get there the 30th, it's all good, whatever. We're in a new room at a different place. Next day, 2 of my friends whom I booked myself are supposed to fly in. They get to the airport and they're told their reservation is canceled. They tried calling me, but it's 4 a.m. My phone was off, so I didn't see it. It was ridiculous. They couldn't figure out what to do, so they just ended up booking their own tickets and flying to Mexico themselves. $475. So I go to the front desk and I say, hey, are my 2 friends good to check in today? Is their reservation still paid for? He said, yeah, they're good to arrive today. So the first problem that we're facing is if you book a flight and you don't make the first flight or the connecting flight, your entire reservation gets canceled. So they say that they're good to check in, but their flights were canceled. So I go down and I have to come down to the lobby 3 separate times waiting for a manager. She informs me that it was due to insufficient funds and that we weren't charged for the flight and only the hotel. So I'm like, wait, you charged us for the hotel, but you didn't charge us for the flight to get to the hotel in Mexico? How does that make any sense? They then said, here, if you look here, it says money is owed, and that's why it got canceled. So I go to my email and find my personal reservation where it says the exact same thing as their reservation. Note that I booked them all at the same time with the same card, same name, definitely had funds in my bank account. And I show them that and I say, why is my reservation canceled? And why at the top of the email, the same email that she showed me at the bottom said where we owe money, said, we're looking forward to seeing you and your trip is confirmed. So an hour goes by, she gets on the phone, etc. They told me it was due to my card being canceled and that they sent me an email saying that it was. Well, this is true, but I got that email on the 18th of November and revised all 3 of the reservations for 6 people at the same time. It got to the point where I told them that they had to prove that they sent me an email saying that their reservation was canceled after the 26th of November, otherwise it's not our fault. They told me they needed to contact the reservations and that I should go back to my room and that they'll give me a call back. So, note, the 2 people flying in paid $475 to get one-way tickets to Cabo. We booked for $800 a person, and that included food, drink, flight, and hotels. It was an all-inclusive package through the Solmar. I get a call on my cell. They say that we can rebook them home for an additional $515. At that point, I had had enough. I told them there's absolutely no way that that's going to fly. I will not pay another dollar more than what we agreed to pay in the first place because to me that seems fair. Unless, that, of course, they can prove that they sent any of us an email or anything saying that their reservation was canceled. They couldn't. They call me back. They say they'll book us for the original rate. I'm like, great, good. 3 hours of stress dealing with these people. I sorted it out despite them trying to absolutely f*** us. And, there's girls staying in our room. We have a penthouse. We have a giant bathtub. And one of the girls wants to take a bath. Phone rings. Hello, sir. We need to send employees up to your room. There's a leak. As soon as I hang up the phone, the employees are immediately already knocking. So the girl jumps out of the bathtub and the employees go to work. We had employees in our room for 5 days straight trying to fix the bathtub. Now, I'm not one to complain. If something needs to be fixed, fix it. We don't come to Cabo to be in our room anyway, so whatever. But we go to breakfast one morning and we all eat breakfast. I come up to the room. I go to use the bathroom and there's employees in the bathroom again and they scared the shit out of me and I'm pretty sure I scared the shit out of them and I thought that was ridiculous. I don't think that employees should be able to walk in your room without notice, like on a new day, like what if one of the girls was like sleeping or what if one of the girls was changing or something? It just seems ridiculous that we go to breakfast and when we come back, there's employees in our room. And like to me, all of this should be enough of a reason for them to discount or accommodate us in some way for the serious series of inconveniences. But again, I shut up. I really, really don't like to complain. So it's our last day in town. At the end of every trip, I like to do a 24-hour time lapse of the sunrise to sunset. You guys know me. I love my time lapses. It's one of my favorite things to film in all the places that I go. Except the maid decided to take my camera off the porch while it was in the middle of shooting a time lapse and bring it inside. Check it out. Not to mention they also called us and told us we couldn't have our skimboards on the balcony because they didn't like the way that it looked. Whatever. I still want to make content for all of you guys, so I'm just going to forget about it. I'm going to go get some sick scenic drone shots of the resort. Sounds epic, right?
Drone? No, we don't have a drone.
Merrick, who's that?
Well, the people at the front desk just said if we keep flying the drone, we're going to get kicked out. But I told them we don't have a drone.
Merrick, I'm flying the drone. Merrick.
It's not us.
F this hotel. At this point, I'm over it. I hate this place. Let's go through the list. They put us in a resort we didn't pay to stay in without mentioning anything to us. They didn't inform us that our friends' flights were canceled. I spent hours sorting it out. They tried to make us pay extra for that as well. And to be honest, if it was the average person, they probably would have swindled their way out of it. We had employees in our room for more than half the trip, making the main master bathroom unusable. And we also had little to no privacy during the day. Ruined my time lapse, told me I couldn't put my skimboards on the balcony, and yelled at us for using the drone. Oh, and they also called us one time asking for some random person saying that they didn't pay their bar tab, claiming they knew that person was with us when the person 100% wasn't with us.
Days you were at the lobby with another girl under the name. One of my waitress, she was looking for her, and she asked you for her room number and to find her out. I don't know if you remember that.
We saw her. We saw her
Yeah,
once.
That's why.
We saw her
we just
one
want
time.
to apologize to be calling to your room.
Oh, it's cool.
To try. And the thing and the wrong thing, it was that a waitress from our hotel called you to your room and tried to find out this lady.
Oh yeah, we just met her. They were upstairs and saw them in the
That
elevator.
was the least bad thing that happened here.
Well,
All of the things we wish you guys would have apologized for, that wasn't one of them.
They actually ended up apologizing for that, but nothing else. To me, historically, I feel they should in some way compensate us, whether it be a discount, maybe even just a genuine apology. So I go to the front desk because my time lapse is ruined and I really, really wanted to get that shot of the sunrise to sunset. So the group, we all agreed that we would stay another night so that I could get that shot. So I asked for the manager at the front desk. I really, really wish I would have filmed this because you guys are going to have to take my word for it. I didn't really expect what happened to happen. I take it from the top. I calmly say, hey, I had some issues I want to address. To start, I was filming a time lapse from sunrise to sunset and the maid moved it. We really do everything we can to make this hotel look good and make this place look good. We're social media influencers. It's what we do. We're here to film. And he cuts me off immediately and says they probably just moved it to clean. But he was really short and really rude. So I said, first off, we didn't agree to stay here in the first place and no one told us. Then we had a whole issue with our friends' tickets and we weren't notified. We had employees in our room for the past 5 days straight working on the bathtub. He cuts me off again and says, well, the Solmar is way older and probably would have had more problems than here. How besides the point is that? I ask if there's anything that can be done and if we could maybe get comped to nights so that I can get my time lapse tomorrow. He says, unfortunately, not for that. The maid probably moved it to clean. At this point, he's talking to me like a moron and he's so rude that I just start getting mad. It really takes a lot to get me mad. I said, that's not even close to half the problems that we've had here, sir. He said, well, we can give you the rate that you would get at the Solmar. And I'm like, so wait, you can give me the rate that I agreed to pay in the first place, but you guys didn't tell me that that resort was closed? So I'm technically not getting any discount. You're just telling me that I'm getting a discount because this hotel is nicer and it's an upgrade. Like, what are you talking about? Correct me if I'm wrong. That seems absolutely fucking ridiculous. So I said, really? After putting us in a different resort, messing up our friends' flights, employees in the room, he cuts me off again and says, that's all we can do. Carlos, if you're watching this, you're a fucking terrible manager and you deserve to be demoted for not hearing me out and not trying to help us. Or show us, honestly, any respect at all. I snapped. I said, sir, we have over 6 million total followers on social media, and I honestly will not be able to recommend this place to my fans after this experience. He literally shrugged at me, and I said, whatever, we'll just leave tomorrow, because I was so mad. Something positive I can say about the resort is that the homies that worked at the pool were super sick. The manager who worked at the sports bar was super cool. He said, hey man, after the bars close, you guys can come and party in the lobby. I'm like, really? We can party in the lobby restaurant? That's cool. He remembered me from the Solmar. He hooked us up, let us dance around in the hotel bar after the bars and the strip were closed. Alfredo, who worked out by the water in one of the other restaurants, remembered me and was super dope too. I actually gave him one of my broken skimboards from a couple years back and he was just stoked. But the manager Carlos was ass. And to me, that's not enough positives for me to ever want to stay there again and for me to ever tell you guys to stay there again. We pay this hotel to stay there, so we're essentially paying them to promote their hotel for us to get treated like absolute shit. Maybe they hated us because we're too much fun, because we played music sometimes, because we were a little too loud. But if anyone ever told us to be quiet, we did not have to be asked twice. We did get asked to be quiet once by the pool playing music and one night in our room. And they never had to ask us again. If I had to rate this hotel on a scale of 1 to 10, location, solid 8, right on the ocean. Facilities, probably an 8 out of 10. Nice pool, nice hot tubs. Food, 8 out of 10. There was no complaints there. Workers and service, 9 out of 10. They were all great. The room, well, the view was good, but the issue we had with the bathtub brings the room from an 8 to maybe a 3 or possibly even a 2 out of 10. Even though the view was epic. Management, negative 20. Customer service, lowest score on the entire planet. I would also like to add that we paid all-inclusive so that we didn't have to pay for food or drinks once we got there. It was part of the fee, but we didn't tip less than $20 the entire time to every single person who served us. $20 minimum. Most of the time, like 8 out of 10 times, we would tip a minimum of $40, and we just took care of everyone there. I bet if we asked all the employees if they were happy with us as people that they were serving, I'm sure they would. And like, this video really sucked to make. I don't want to act like just because we're social media influencers, we deserve special treatment, but if I was running a business that was reliant on reviews and word of mouth and publicity, I would not treat social media influencers like absolute shit. So yeah, Playa Grande, I will never, ever visit your resort again. I don't know if that's what you guys wanted, but it was almost directly because of how rude the manager Carlos was at the front desk. If your corporation would like to work with us and set something up with us in the future to kind of pay us back for how terrible your hotel treated us, let us know. We'll go to the Solmar if you guys want to hook us up. Because we love this town, we love this place, we love the culture so much. Everything about Mexico is amazing. It's one of my favorite places I've ever visited in my entire life. We didn't let anything ruin our good time, but I cannot possibly tell you guys that this is a good place to stay because it was the worst hotel experience I've ever encountered in my entire life by far. Nothing can ruin our good time. We still had a great time, but I can't upload multiple videos showing off this hotel, showing off our good time, showing you guys how awesome of a place Mexico is and support this hotel because I just cannot. I cannot have that terrible of an experience and tell you guys to stay there. There will be more Mexico vlogs, I promise, but man, I just had to say something because I've never experienced that. Like, it was, I'm kind of beside myself, honestly. It was ridiculous. Please let me know in the comment section what you guys think, what you guys would do, what you think the hotel should do about this, because I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. And I would love to know that I'm not alone in thinking that that was absolutely absurd.